Hey guys, and welcome to my channel. Today we will be building a library. So I actually started with a challenge from James Turner's build generator on his website, but I kind of got away from that because I just got so inspired. I started with this glass roof that just really got my imagination going and didn't really match what the challenge generated for me. So I kind of just winged it. Um, I'm in the middle of a project that I've just started. I am creating a save file from scratch. So as you can see next door, I've got a fitness center. So that is already up on the gallery if you want to check that out under the ID Plumbdagger. So as we are getting into this build, I am just adding some windows. I added some roofs to the back just to kind of give it a little bit of dimension and make it less like a giant box. um, and I always kind of like, this kind of cute entryway that is kind of like a front porch, but it's also a business. So it's just, you walk in and you can sit if you need to wait for someone to come meet you there or something like that. But the build generator actually gave me a color of yellow, and I really tried, but it just got away from me. It also gave me styles of, I think it was garden and cute, and I was restricted to the pack of get to work. And there are 0 items in get to work that are cute and garden, or cute or garden. So it's not just get to work. I did have a limit on it though, so I stuck to only base game, get to work, eco lifestyle. I added that in because I decided I needed the wood flooring because it is the greatest wood flooring. So I have that, and then also Book Nook, of course, since it's a library, and Bloomin' Room, since I know most people have that right now, especially since it's literally still free right now. Um, so we're just working on the exterior here, trying to make it look kind of like a oldish library, but still updated and fun to go to, but has some history to it. So I found this statue and I sized it up using Toolmod. I use Toolmod a lot. And we're just going to kind of try to place it in there so that it looks like a really nice front to the building. And again, still trying to stick with the yellow. I did better with that on the outside than I did on the inside. The inside definitely does not stick to yellow, but the outside does pretty well with that. I think this build turned out really nice, actually. It's got a lot of cool features to it. It's very cozy. I took this book that you can get that's in the wall sculptures, and I just sized it up a bunch just to kind of make it like a sign. Yeah, because if you're walking down the street, you want to know what is where, you know. We don't really have super good signage for things like libraries. So I put that up there. Later, I actually even hide a light in there so it looks like it lights up at night, which is really cool. I love that. Um, and then back here, I decided to add this little like flower box to the end of the outdoor patio. I thought that'd be nice, because you have that cool view going out into the water and into the trees. So just having that nice little area where you can read and hang out, it ends up being very pretty. And you don't see it in this video, but I do end up adding terrain paint at the end. I still have issues with that glitch where if you exit out of the game or just go to the manage worlds, the terrain paint disappears. So I like to do that at the very end. Plus, you don't really know how it's going to be officially until the very end anyway. I make a lot of adjustments. I'm adding these flower boxes around the sides, again, to add more dimension, make it look just more flowy, but less like a giant rectangle. Using yellow flowers because yellow. So we're just adding those in. I used half walls and then raised the platform so it looks like they're in a little planter box, and put the flowery grass down as the flooring. And I'm pretty sure I'm going to extend that soon because I decided I wanted to go all the way around. Oh, and I forgot to mention it as I was doing it, but upstairs we have those little balconies with the windows that, have it open. And I feel like that just adds to the charm of the place. It makes it look, like you can look out to something and have nice views. Because that's kind of what you want in a library. But, um, so I think we're almost done with the exterior. Yeah, here we go. We are extending that out. Because you can't have too many plants, right? You always have to have more plants. Um, but yeah, this build was a lot of fun. Uh, the exterior definitely was a lot easier than I thought it would be. Now we're moving on into the inside. So I decided I wanted this giant balcony kind of overlooking the entryway. Just I felt that made it feel more grand. And man, these stairs I played with for so long. And then when I go to play test at the very end, they didn't even work anyway. So I had to, I tried everything I could to get them to be functional, and I just couldn't do it. Also, I had a very hard time trying to figure out what to do with the actual front door. Um, so I go back to that a lot. I guess maybe some bathrooms back here because you have to have bathrooms. At first, I was going to add like stalls. I thought about that, but it just, I don't know, it wasn't working for me. This had a much different feel as far as the inside goes with the decorating, so I didn't think stalls would work well in here. Plus, the whole limited pack thing. Um, but they turned out kind of nice. I mean, who goes to the library just go to the bathroom, right? It's not like there's like a coffee shop or in there or anything. So just adding some decorations to the bathrooms here. I added this little transition. It was like 1 hour later, uh, because I messed with these stairs so long. I mean, it was ridiculous how long I spent on these stairs. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to stop recording. I'm going to figure this out. So here I ended up adding mirrors because I could not get the platform trim to look right with walling, like wallpaper or anything. So I'm like, you know what? I'm going to cover it with these giant mirrors. I used Tool Mod to kind of shove them down on the ground a little bit so that they fit over the platforms nicely. So it hides that. Yeah, as you'll see, I get a lot of ADHD when I'm building. So I'll be working on one area and then I'll see something and be like, oh, that needs to go in this area. I can't forget about that. So let me go ahead and put it there. And then I'm like, oh, wait, but I also want to put this in this area too. And the next thing you know, I'm just working on a completely different room and the previous room is nowhere near finished. Um, so I apologize if it gets a little whiplash over here, going from room to room. But I definitely, yeah, it's a problem of mine. I get distracted by things that I see and I don't want to forget about. So I just, it works for me. It works for me. This build didn't take too long total. Probably start to finish. I don't know, a few hours maybe. And now I'm working on like a little office area. And I decided I wanted a wall of bookshelves because I figured if it's a library, we're using the Nook Kit, we might as well have giant walls of bookshelves. So I put those in and I contemplated the door a lot. I didn't think that door that I have here really matched the style very well, but I liked how it fit in the bookshelves. So I have that in there for now. I do end up changing it though, because I find a better option. Because as of now, while I'm doing this, I still hadn't decided what I was going to put in the rooms next to that. So those end up being really cool too. I enjoy those. So I just decided to make this bookshelf wall go all the way around because wouldn't that just be so cozy to be able to be in there working on your, computer that you're borrowing at the library and just having these books everywhere. Um, along with the cool clutter, of course. And I did spend a lot of time trying to decide what to do with those walls behind the computers. Oh, everything I did just looked so bad, but I think what I ended up with, it was okay. I'm not sure how I could have made that any better. Um, and of course, if you guys have any suggestions or if something you would have done something differently, leave a comment. I love learning how everyone else does their builds, and maybe I can even start adapting some styles to myself and have us all grow as builders. So, yeah, still in the office. Um, I do like to take my time decorating, for most things at least, because I'm a big fan of clutter. So, and that's also why limited pack builds are kind of difficult because there's just not enough clutter in just a few packs. You know what I mean? Like every build, you gotta have, something from everything. I used to not care about limiting packs, so I would just go crazy and build, and then I would try to upload it to the gallery. And holy cow, how do we scroll through all of these packs trying to see what's in there? And then I started feeling bad because not a lot of people have a lot of packs because they're expensive, very expensive. So I mean, I just take advantage of sales. But they're very expensive. So, yeah, it's hard to put things on the gallery that people can't really use. Also, if you're making videos of builds, you kind of want to have stuff that most people can use. That way, if they want to try to build their own builds, then, they got something going for them. Now, I did decide that these two rooms should be like little classrooms because since this is a library, there's some requirements like you have to have a couple chess tables and a couple desks. And then I realized, oh wait, I used dining tables for the computers, not desks. But I didn't want to change that because I liked having all of those computers in there, and you can't do that many in that small of an area with just computer desks. So I wanted to keep it like that. Um, so I used these classrooms as ways to kind of satisfy those requirements, and it turned out really cool, I think. Like if you want to take a painting class or, some sort of logic class, or if you have, what is it, growing together or get together, the one with the clubs in it. If you want to have like a chess club, you can meet at the library, that kind of thing. Maybe learn some stuff. But then, we get some desks out of the way and some activities because, it's always nice to have community lots that aren't just one or two activities. You want to have a lot of options there. So just working on something that people can paint while they're in class. Of course, our little instructors have to have their folders. Um, oh yeah, here we go. Now I'm starting to figure out the door situation. And what I ended up doing looks way better. I use these doors that I used at the front, except these are for the medium wall height instead of the tall wall height, because I wanted to be able to fit books around it. Um, Now, I don't do that quite yet, but in a few minutes here, I'm going to realize, okay, I need more bookshelves. Um, so I'll add those in a bit. And then I saw this painting, and I'm like, you know what? There is a bowl of fruit down there. Wouldn't that be so cool if that is like, I don't know, a student won an award or something for a painting they did in this class. So now they have it on display, kind of as like a local, I don't know, just a way to show off to the community. Um, so I thought that was kind of interesting. And we have a cork board here. Kind of figured if the teacher's doing lessons or something, they can hang stuff up. So I put these little patents up there. I thought that made sense with logic. So I'm starting to now get a good grasp of what I want to do with the walls, especially after having these other doors put in. That this is when I really start to go crazy with more bookshelf walls. But that is my favorite part of this library. I think it just makes it look so cool. Makes it look cozy. but it also makes it look like it has a lot of history and a lot of books, and it's just a really cool place to go to if you need to go to a library. It's got anything you could ever really need for a library, at least. Uh, and you're trying to work in all of the extra little things that go in with these activities, like this little canvas holder. It's really big, and that's a little annoying, but it's really cool and it looks nice in there. So here I'm back at the front of the building, and I'm building a little like a reception area. If you want to check out books or maybe sign up for a library card. Now, I know that that's not really something you do in The Sims 4, but it's still kind of cool. Um, so there's a little checkout counter where you can go check out, and I'm gonna go back and forth between this room and this other room for a while again because of my ADHD with building. Um, but now we're working on this little corner room, and I decided to make that like a kid's room. So, if you want to go to the library and find some books for you to read, you can bring your kids with you and they can hang out down in the kids' room, and you know that they're going to be okay. And I don't know if it was weird, but I kind of liked putting these windows in because I thought it made it feel like they were being watched or babysat, like maybe the receptionist is keeping an eye on them while you're off finding books to read or something. I don't know. But there's plenty of activities for kids in here. We've got the experimenting table and some crafts tables and some violins, and I added a toy box, and these kid bookshelves, and that's got the fun flooring in it, so it just makes it a little more kid-like, but it looks like fun if a little kid needed to come to the library with you, or if they just wanted to come. Maybe they have guest celebrities from Del Sol Valley come in and read to kids or something. That would be kind of cool. uh, so we're just working on that, and again, back and forth, because I found this little corkboard that I'm like, you know what, this would look good as if, maybe they've got some events or some competitions, maybe some chess competitions that they are planning for, to keep kind of like a calendar for the reception area, just to keep everything organized and keep everyone informed. So that's when I'm like, oh, wait, I wanted to put more books in here, so let me go ahead and do that now. Finish off the walling. I just kept it the same throughout. It makes the gameplay so much easier. It's a little less laggy because it's just less things to have to load. So it does help a little bit. And plus I liked it, so we just went with it. Doing some cluttering and some planting, of course. Now, I will say that some of these things that you are about to see, like in the middle part downstairs, that does change at the end of it. So when I went to go playtest, the stairs didn't work. I had to completely redo them. So I redid a couple of the things down there in the middle. The back wall with the bookshelves, and then the back-to-back bookshelves against the office and the classrooms, that all stayed the same. It was mainly the sides of the staircases that changed. So like these little areas. Now this coffee table with the ottoman that's pressed up through it, that's not functional, but it's just so cute. And I liked the color scheme between having the little table with the books in it, and then having that really cute but also light creamy ottoman cushion peeking through. I thought that made it look more custom. And living chairs are also a requirement in libraries, but that's okay because the Book Nook has some really cute ones that would fit really well in here. So we're just gonna go place those all around. And I put these little fireplaces there because I feel like that also adds to the coziness. But I end up changing how that looks anyway when I redo the stairs. And I like these back-to-back bookcases because I feel like that also makes it look more realistic too. And you probably just saw back in the corner with the other chairs, I had these random looking bookshelves in the corner, but I thought that looked all right at first. But then when I was changing it up at the very end, I saw those. I'm like, that really does not look good. So I ended up just putting some vending machines there. Well, technically, it's the get to work refrigerators, but they kind of look like vending machines, so it works out. Um, and I contemplated this big chandelier for a while. I tried that one, but I thought I would have liked it if it had the right brown tone to it. It just looked too red, and there wasn't one that kind of matched the vibe enough, so I went with the other chandelier instead. Um, and again, these paintings, I went back and forth with these a couple times. See, I put this one over here, but then when I put the other one on the other side, it looks kind of funny, so I want to put it on top of the chairs, but then I go back, oh, wait a second, that needs to be there too. Um, so I'm sorry if I make anyone dizzy, but I do have a lot of back and forth with the way with my build style. I just get so distracted so easily. And again, I use Tool Mod a lot, as you see. It is definitely a lifesaver. Tool Mod and Better Build By. Ultimately, if you're looking for things to help you do really, really cool builds, Twisted Mexi is probably the best one to find those mods for. Um, there's other ones for like gameplay and CC and stuff, but when it comes to the actual building of the builds, um, Twisted Mexi has some must needs. Um, and placing more of these back to back bookshelves because I do feel like they look really cool. Um, And I don't know if you saw downstairs, but I put those ottomans in front of them, and I'm going to do that up here as well. And I think that looks really cool too. I think it looks very realistic because, when you see bookshelves like that, I feel like there's always somewhere to sit, like a bench like that. Or maybe I'm thinking of shoe racks. I don't know, but it just looks right. And adding some more chairs over here because you gotta have some place to read, so you just gotta sit. Plus, I like these little windows that peek outside like that with the balconies. It makes me want to sit up there and read in front of them too. And again, more ottomans because they just really match the vibe of this place so well. And these plants are always a really good classic to put into your builds because they're very versatile. They go with a lot of different styles and they fit very nicely on the end of couches or benches or anything like that. And out here we are working on our little outdoor bistro patio area. I've got a stereo and a plant. That's also when I realized I need to add venue speakers. So mental note, don't forget about that. Um, and I end up adding a pergola out there as well that you'll see in the screenshots. Again, when I went in to change those stairs, I had another couple of ideas that I really wanted to put in. So I put in a pergola out there. It's just that one that goes outside. I have it in a white color. You'll see it in the screenshots, but I use Tool Mod to make the size be pretty perfect so that it fits in there. And then I also lifted it up a little bit so that there was more space underneath and it just looked better. But then it was floating, so I found these pedestals to put underneath, so it looked like, it's just part of the base of their structure. Here's where I'm putting in the lights. I also like to size down lights and put them in the plants outside because I feel like that's a really good way to kind of add lighting and make everything glow without actually like having to look at ugly outdoor light posts. So I do that a lot in my builds, but I really like how it turned out with that book because I feel like it just makes it look like a light up sign for the library. And I thought that was very cool. So here I am adding the little venue speakers, and now it's time for the tour. So this is what it looks like from the outside. Very nice, very historical. We've got our front entryway and our little reception area. Here we can peek inside of our reception area. Move on down the hallway. And this is the back of the hallway. And then looking back, that is the new fireplace that I put in. Here's our art room from the teacher's perspective. And we've got the office. Looking back at the office, I love that view. That was a very cool screenshot. And here, I love looking up at the roof. I feel like it looks so nice with that glass roof shining in. And there's another shot with the vending machines that I put in. This is the kids' room. And then another side of the kids' room. And then going upstairs, I love this shot as well with the glass roof, just letting the sun come down. And you can see the balcony over the entryway. We've got a bathroom. The other one's basically the same. Looking out to the patio. This is our little patio area with the pergola, and it looks so nice, especially when I zoom out. Look at that beauty. It looks so great. Here we got some top views. This is the second floor and the first floor. And thank you guys so much for staying and watching this video. Feel free to subscribe, like, comment your favorite part, comment some advice for me. I love getting advice on how I can make builds better, or heck, even making my videos better. So if you have any advice at all, please feel free to let me know. Dag dag!